Excited to show you my first piece that I flipped. Was a little tiny side table that I was walking up to Savers, and I thought, okay, Jesus, if you want me to do this, then just like show me a piece of furniture. And this side table was like sitting outside. Someone had just dropped it off, and I thought, that's it. That's my first project. My inspiration was boho, chic, something modern. I was trying to update it to be modern, and I think I achieved it. So I am super excited to show you how I did that, and let's go ahead and get started. Hey guys, this is the piece that I found at Savers thrift store. I was using Citrus Strip on the top of this to try and take the varnish off. I always like to wear a respirator and gloves when I use Citrus Strip. And then I went ahead and washed off the extra stripper, and I also gave the piece a good clean with some warm water and Dove dish soap. I don't believe Citrus Strip requires degreasing, but just to get all that gunk off, because I was going to go for a smooth finish. After that, I gave it a sand with my Milwaukee palm sander. I went a little heavy with the palm sander. I'm not gonna lie that I'm a little disappointed in myself, but I am pretty heavy-handed. I did not want to go through the veneer, but I did. So unfortunately, yeah, there's the veneer. It's a little dusty. I'm wiping off the extra dust. I mean, it's already had stripper and sander, and it looks like that. So I should have just like stopped there, but I think I did another coat of sanding. I probably should not have done that, but you know, I'm here to teach you so you don't make my mistakes. Anyway, I did take this piece apart. It came apart really easily. I'm assuming it was a flat pack piece that someone ordered and then they put together, because it did have all those little stickers on it that say like A, B, C, D, you know, put A here, B here, C here, whatever. So I was able to take it apart, which I'm super stoked about, because I wanted to take off the bottom fluting angle on the bottom of the foot. I believe that gives it a more traditional look, and I'm going for a more modern boho look. And it also seems like some of the side tables now that are a little bit more modern are shorter, as opposed to the taller side tables that we've had in the past that are traditional. This is my Ryobi compound miter saw from Home Depot. I've had this thing for maybe 5 years. I love it. It's sliding, so it is able to cut those really wide pieces of wood, and it saves me from having to get out my table saw, which I don't really like to use. I'm not the most comfortable with my table saw. I would use my chop saw all day long if I could. I actually put a different blade on this as well. It's from Diablo, and it's the 100 tooth blade. It's called the Ultimate Polished Finish Circular Saw Blade. I've had this on there for a few years as well, and it's still working really, really well. I did just check on the Home Depot website, and they're $75. So it is a pricier blade, but to me, it's well worth it. I can cut things, and I don't have to take my sandpaper and sand off the raw edges. This is called like a 220 finish grade cut, so implying that it looks like you just use 220 sandpaper on it. If you look at the bottom of that wood, it's a pretty clean cut. So in my opinion, it's well worth the time and the effort. Not sponsored by Ryobi. I'm just giving you my honest opinion about this blade. I really, really like it. So after I chopped the legs off, I went ahead and I put it back together. It was pretty easy to put back together, which is good because I'm not really that great at following directions. The drawer itself had like a more, I did trim the edges of the drawer as well. It had more like of a what do you call that when it's like a rounded edge on it. I wanted it, like I said, more modern, so I gave it a really clean look. So I did cut the drawer as well with my chop saw. The front panel, it just popped right off. Here I am with the caning that I wanted to cover the front in, just measuring out how much I need to cut off. I did have some pieces of wood that you see on the table down there, and I'm just gonna make like a block square for the drawer front with those. I didn't even miter the edges. I wanted to do, I butted the edges up to one another. But this caning I got from, where did I get that? I got it from Rockler, and Rockler has a lot of cool, like really niche products. This was kind of expensive though. I think it was, gosh, how much was it? I think I want to say it was $6.99 an inch. So it was a little on the pricier side than I would have liked, but I got it anyway. It had separated quite a bit, but Annie Sloan chalk paint is known for doing well sitting in a cupboard, and it doesn't really go bad unless you introduce a bunch of like bacteria to it. So, and this one had never been opened. So as soon as I got it stirred up, it came back to life and it was good to go. I'm using an Annie Sloan smooth paintbrush, which is a synthetic paintbrush as opposed to the traditional paintbrush that you think of with Annie Sloan, which is the boar bristle. The boar bristle gives you a textured finish. The smooth paintbrush gives you a smooth finish. It's synthetic, so it's plastic. It's supposed to leave less lines in your paint. Another trick that I learned while using Annie Sloan's paint and this smooth finish brush is to have a cup of water nearby so I can dip my paintbrush in some water. Helps the paint to smooth on a little bit easier and glide on a little bit better. Now this is the part of the project where you put the first coat on and you're just kind of thinking to yourself, oh my goodness, what did I do? This looks like crap. And I would tell all of my customers who took my workshops, just keep going, just keep going, just get the first coat on and do your sanding and then get to the next coat. So I've obviously done 2 coats here with a light sanding in between. I'm framing out the front of the drawer box with those strips that I told you about, and that's to cover the edge of the cane. I'm using General Finishes top coat. I have never used this before, and I was really impressed. It went on really easy. It just seemed almost too good to be true. But, you know, it wasn't. Luckily, it's the one thing that went well with this project. I put it on with a foam brush as the directions state. I think you're supposed to wait 2 hours in between recoating. I did do a light sand in between coats. And I used the foam brush like I said. It went really well. I was really pleased with it. And I already have the piece in place with things on top of it, and that finish is super smooth and not sticky at all. And here she is in all her glory. I was gonna sell this piece, but I think I might keep it. That knob is from Amazon. I'll link it in the description below.